Greedo using a lightsaber, and Jabba getting some sweet revenge, all on this week's episode of Star Wars Weekly. Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter, and if you are a fan of Star Wars, you are in the right place because every single week I like to talk about the comics, novels, TV series, and really anything that ties into Star Wars. There's so much coming out on a weekly basis, it can be hard to keep up. So we have two comics to talk about this week. The first one I want to talk about is Age of Rebellion, Jabba the Hutt, issue number 1. Who would ever think we would get a Jabba the Hutt issue all about the vile gangster? And this one really showcases Jabba's adeptness at really playing people as the mafia boss that he is. So this one is all about centered on these two characters that find out that Jabba has this very sweet, delectable wine. They want to have it, and Jabba tells them, look, the Tusken Raiders are the ones that supply it to me. Go get it from them, but be very careful because they're probably not going to part ways with it and you might die. So anyway, these two characters go to this location, and there's stormtroopers there, and there's also Jawas there, both who have been encroaching upon the territory of the Tusken Raiders who have spoken with Jabba earlier. They all find out really quick that they got played because they're all like, hey, we're all in the same area. This is probably not a good thing, and next thing you know, Boba Fett just starts taking them out. So all in all, Jabba is a masterful, coordinator with telling everybody to go to this one place just to off them all out. Just a traditional kind of mafioso story set in the Star Wars universe. So some things I want to talk about. So first of all, seeing Canto Bight from the very first page. It's always nice getting an angle on a different planet in a different era of Star Wars. I did like seeing that Hutt ship that was in that panel when we first see Jabba the Hutt's palace. Pretty cool stuff there. Also, the Tusken Raiders making a deal with Jabba. I don't think we've ever really seen that, especially them communicating to Jabba, and the protocol droid was actually able to translate. So to see these different warring factions on Tatooine kind of having an agreement, knowing where their territory is. The Tusken Raiders know that Jabba is the ultimate force on Tatooine to be able to communicate with them. Pretty cool. Also, the scene seeing Jabba, or the Jawas actually having their own army of repurposed battle droids from the B1s to the B2s. It was nice seeing them. And of course, seeing Boba Fett very much just kicking some butt and taking some names in this very issue. So we see that bond between Jabba and Boba Fett has always been strong throughout. Moving over to the other comic we have this week, and it is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, issue number 2. So this comic series ties into the Disney parks. This is on Batu in Black Spire. We follow the character of Dok Ondar. He is the owner of many antiquities. At the point of time in this comic, it is during the sequel trilogy. We have the First Order who have arrived on this planet. They are asking questions about Dok Ondar because they think he might have artifacts that some Resistance spies might want, but then at the same time we have these outlaws that are also trying to bargain with a certain item from Dok Ondar. They plant some surveillance technology that is able to spy on the First Order who is interested in this lightsaber. So then it goes into a flashback. The lightsaber actually belongs to none other than Jedi Master on the Council, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and it shows us his very last moments on Mojito during Order 66 when his troops turn on him. Yes, even the Marine troops that look awesome turn on him. Really cool design. And then we get into the story about how the lightsaber came to be in the hands of Dok Ondar. And we find out it's a story about none other than the bounty hunter of Greedo. Yes, the guy that didn't shoot first. He is in this story. I don't think we've ever really gotten a Greedo story before other than the Clone Wars. So it's really cool seeing him go on this mission where he's going to Mojito years after Order 66. The Immune Banking Clan are the ones in charge. He has information from Jabba that he has to go and extricate this given species of alien who are very, very intelligent, and they are made even more intelligent because they have this sophisticated Lobot technology visor that goes around the back of the head, able to amplify their calculations. So anyway, Greedo breaks in, he tries to grab this guy, then at the last minute he gets trapped, so he finds that this lightsaber is there, and he uses the lightsaber to get out of there, and unfortunately the Given is dropped to its death But Greedo doesn't come home empty-handed to Jabba. He does bring the lightsaber. Jabba is about to kill him, about to feed him to his pet Rancor, when we have Dok Ondar, who happens to be in Jabba's palace at the time, and says, hey, look, I will pay you guys double if you give me that lightsaber. So basically, Greedo gets off the hook. Jabba says, you know what, to prove to yourself one last time, I have a bounty for you, and you see Greedo walking away. So it can only be assumed that the bounty he is talking about is none other than the scoundrel Han Solo. So that is pretty much the entire story in a nutshell. So some things I want to talk about is, first off, the First Order on Batuu, how they are threatening the citizens and how they might appear for guests that actually visit the park. I love seeing Ki-Adi-Mundi in action. I love seeing anytime we get into the prequels, especially with the great visuals. The artwork by Sliney is some of my favorite in the industry right now. This guy is killing it. I cannot wait to see more stuff here because it really represents the denseness of something like Batuu. So many creatures, very vibrant colors. I did like seeing the Munes in Star Wars. We haven't really seen a whole lot of them. Plus the Gibbon as well. The Gibbons, if you guys have read Heritage of Jedi by Kevin Hearn, it was a older canon book that came out about 4 years ago, and the whole mission for Luke was to get this Gibbon, who again had a lot of information that could help the Rebel Alliance at the time. But I thought it was really cool how the Mun actually were still established as bankers during the time of the height of the Empire. So I figured that like the Empire would be in charge of everything. So I have these guys that used to be during the Clone Wars still kind of in charge of their own thing. I'm not sure where Machito is, if it's in the mid-rim or the outer rim, but that was cool nonetheless. Also, really interesting tidbit, the character named Kendo, she says something about restoring something to her bloodline on Sereno, which happens to be the ruling family of Sereno is none other than Count Dooku. Unless they've changed to a completely different family in the meantime, I find that highly fascinating, and hopefully we learn more about the character. Are they a descendant of the sister of Dooku? Remember, we have that great audiobook which I reviewed on the channel, Dooku Jedi Lost. It really goes in depth with the whole politics, the whole hierarchy of Dooku's family on Sereno, so definitely check that out. I also thought it was really cool to see Renix as a changeling turning into a First Order officer. Greedo using a lightsaber. I mean, who would have ever expected that? There's one scene in here where there's like all these Galaxy's Edge like toys. It's like a kind of a promotion for the park where you have like AT-ATs and X-Wings and a little model T-47s all flying around while there is a Wookiee fighting against an Aquilus that is really buffed up. That was really freaking cool there. We also did see Jabba the Hutt in this one, obviously, and we do see him give a bounty to Greedo. So this was a very heavy Jabba week. Just to see Jabba continue to have that cruelty, continue to be like that apex predator, that alpha type person that is not going to give crap to anybody. And he is very threatening and very frightening, to say the least. And we finally get to this point where the outlaws find out about the Sith relic, and that's where we leave off. They don't want it. Dok Ondar wants to move it. He doesn't want it to get into the hands of Kylo Ren. So I have a question coming to me on Twitter from James M, the crazy gamer historian, at Robin McCormick. He asked me which astromech droid model is superior, R2 or BB. And it's got to be the BB unit, first off, because it's been about 3 years of innovations since we got the R2 units that we've seen in Return of the Jedi. Although the R2 units go back even further, you can trace them all the way back to the Phantom Menace at the very least. So we're talking at least 50 years of advancements in the BB units. And just looking about the form and the functionality, they're a spherical design, and you see how fast BB-8 is able to move with everybody, and especially in The Force Awakens, the Jakku village scene when they're getting attacked by TIE fighters trying to find a transport before they find a Millennium Falcon. BB-8 is keeping right up there with Finn and with Rey, no problem at all. Also, there's so many gadgets. They have the little cables, the BB units. They have tons of awesome gadgets. Like, R2 units are great too because they do have the jetpacks and all. But looking at it from a perspective of in-universe, I gotta give it to the BB units. Next week, you guys can look forward to Star Wars issue 108. That isn't a misprint. No, we didn't just jump like 50 numbers. They are actually going to go back to the old Legends numbering just for one single issue, and that will be out next week. alongside of Vader Dark Visions issue number 4. So what did you guys think of this week's Jabba-centric comics? Let's talk about them both in the comment section below. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I talk about Star Wars pretty much every single week, so if you liked what I had to say about this particular subject and you want to learn more about what is going on in the Star Wars universe, make sure you go ahead and support the channel by subscribing and hit that bell icon so you're notified of my videos in the future. That is going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.